I'm sure you've thought about strategies and ways to turn this whole thing around. Can you share with us some of those strategies and plans that you have to turn our local government structures around?
We do it so strictly that if you got an that a municipal manager that's been appointed, until the minister confirms that their qualifications are acceptable, that thing must be seen as like pending. Until then, we will then look at that. When we are satisfied, then of course we'll let them continue with it. So we can actually ask the municipality to withdraw someone who is not qualified. Then those who would have been involved in transgression somewhere else and they were charged, or maybe they jumped before they were fired and so on, we're keeping a database. So if your name appears somewhere in the different municipalities in the country, we simply just say, no, not this one. And so we are very strict on that. So that's very strong. Then, of course, we go in. Section 154 allows us to go in to give support, and we'll then go and look at the vacancies. We give you timelines, listen, fill your vacancies, and so on. And so the issues of governance that need to be dealt with. And of course, it means now there must be specific things which we must ensure the municipalities abide by: proper meetings of council, people go into meetings, they read minutes, they read the documents, they take the right decisions, and so on and so on. So that's one pack of things. So we'll have a team that's dealing with that. The second lot is around financial management. Here we're dealing with the issues of credible budgets, where people must do a proper budget, where they deal with the issues of revenue generation, management of expenditure, and following up properly on procurement responsibilities. So we have a team that's going to go and follow on that. It's a combination of COGTA and Treasury, because the legislation here, there's Municipal Systems Act as well as Municipal Finance Management Act. Those two come from the two departments. So the team goes there to help them to work on that. Again, the qualification of your technical staff, your CFO must be proper. And then in addition, we look at the vacancies, we look at the rules, we look at everything, and then we help them. We've got a basic finance recovery revenue generation model and finance recovery program that we take them through. So how can you make sure that you pay all your debts on time, you get all the people that owe you, and all of this. So they work on that and then make sure that they monitor it as we go. That's the second one. The third one is infrastructure delivery. On the infrastructure delivery, you're dealing here with people where you've got no capacity. So we've announced this one as well, that we have a municipal technical support team at district level. We've got a number of municipalities that cannot all afford to pay engineers, regional and town planners, and chartered accountants, but they need to spend money. And we've got money, I think this year we've got no less than 16 billion that is going into infrastructure. Now, every municipality must apply for this money, and when they do, you find that the big metros are the ones that can, afford the engineers, etc., because they're well-to-do. Then the smaller ones can't, and then we then take the money away from them, and we think that it's punishing poor people, poor communities, because you're taking money back. So in the process, therefore, what we've now done, we've actually created 16 teams now, which are out, going to be going out onto the municipalities. They look at the district. We're targeting the first 55 districts out of the 87 municipalities that we thought are distressed. And out of this, we've also said that by October to December, we must fill up we must create the teams for all the municipalities. The reason is that we want to make sure that going forward, there should be no municipality that's failing to spend municipal infrastructure grants. So services, infrastructure at that level must be possible for all the municipalities, but must be located at a district municipal level. So that's the third one. Now, the fourth one is a problematic one, and that's a political problem. There's infighting in some instances. You got interference in some instances. You can get wrong decisions taken in some instances. You get coalitions that fight and collapse. So you've got people who infighting and all of that. Now, for that, we are saying that the African National Congress, the majority of the municipalities are led by ANC, has to take responsibility. So the ruling parties have to take responsibilities there. And in this case, I think it's important to get the parties to call their members and deal with them when they think that there are some transgressions, and make the point very clear that we want to see leaders taking responsibility as you go into running the municipality. Now, with that, once you deal with all of those four, you should be able to turn things around. This is in all municipalities, plus minus. And then, of course, you will have the lot of municipalities, as I said, who have, very rural towns and small towns and villages where there's no rates base and they don't have revenue and so on. Those you'll obviously struggle. We need to deal with them into in a kind of futuristic way. But currently, these issues, if we can solve all of these things, you will see an improvement in audit outcomes. And we have said those municipalities that got disclaimers, want to give them one year. They must turn that situation around. I'm sending in the next few days letters to all mayors to ask them that they are going to be budgeting. I want to be sure that they've budgeted for the simple basics that we want to see on a municipality. Can they ensure that the streets are clean? Can they ensure that there are no potholes? Can they ensure that the grass on the side of the edges of the roads have been cut? Can they make sure that they fix the leaks? They can also make sure that when you go in there, they are then able to supply water, electricity, and so on, where they've got capacity to do that. So these basics of what a municipality has to be, has to offer, I think this is what we need to make, it's a standard. So we're sending the messages to everybody to say we would like them to confirm to us that they've budgeted for the simple basic things first. And of course, we've got these other support teams that are going to be there to give them support for the bigger challenges that they face.